Alright guys, so you see the other day I was just chilling and having a look at the news when I found this. Steam will warn you before purchasing certain games about the fact that you are purchasing a license to play that game and not a game you can actually get to keep. And that left me think, what would happen if tomorrow I decided to open Asphalt Legends Unite just to find out that it has been closed? Would there be anything I could do? Well, today I will be having a look into the Gameloft Terms of Service as well as the Aula, which is an agreement between both the user and Gameloft in order to find the answers to the questions I had. So let's get into it. First of all, I would like to clear out that Asphalt Legends Unite isn't going anywhere, yet as everyone knows, nothing lasts forever, and since the eventual end of the game will take place at some point in the future, talking a bit about this could be useful for some of you, just so you get to know the insights behind the relation of a customer and a product as it is Asphalt Legends Unite, a free to download game. I would like to differentiate between the terms of use, which many of you might know as the set of rules you shall not break in order to not to get banned inside of the game, and the Aula, which stands for End User License Agreement, and it's, as the name itself reveals, an agreement between you as the user and Gameloft as the license provider. The fact that this Aula exists basically means that the news I mentioned at the beginning directly apply to all of us, since obviously none of us purchased a game we could keep, regardless of the server status, but instead we obtain a free license to play a game from Gameloft through the Apple, Google and Microsoft stores. In case you want to have a look at the terms of service as well as the Aula, you have both links on this video description, but now let's get back on topic. Imagine that tomorrow I open the game just to find out a server connection pop-up error. You check the Asphalt Legends Unite socials and you find out that the game has been closed. Since Asphalt Legends Unite is a game 100% online, there is no way to access to your progress without connection to the game servers. After the initial surprise, you will move into the next step. Since a few hours have passed, you are slowly realizing of all the time and in some cases money you have put into your account, so some of you guys will start to seek ways to at least get access to your progress again. Well, if the game is closed, that will mean that all the progress made inside of it is no longer accessible. Regarding this, both the terms of use and the Aula make sure that Gameloft is completely covered against any kind of legal action regarding this kind of progress loss, since, well, you can't play the game without accepting the terms of use and the Aula, so by doing so you accept the risk that represents losing your entire progress because of an online game server loss. As sad as simple as it might sound, such is the end of most free-to-download games like Clash of Clans, Plants vs Zombies, and so on. Asphalt 8, which is still alive up to this day, has an offline mode, but with the handicap that features like boosters and card upgrades, for example, require Wi-Fi, so if you have all the cards maxed out and you have years of boosters, you should be able to play career and practice mode for years, even if the Asphalt 8 server shut down and the app disappears from the stores, of course, for as long as you keep the app on your device. In Asphalt Legends Unite, however, this is not the case. Despite I think that bringing the chance to play career without internet connection should be possible, I don't think they will do this unless the game gets to 20 years of age or something like that, and in advance for a potential server closure, they release an offline game mode so we can get to enjoy our progress forever without having to rely on internet connection or third-party servers. However, this will likely take place in many years from now, since at the current moment Asphalt Legends Unite is one of the leading income streams of Gameloft as well as one of the best known Gameloft games ever, so it's safe to say that we will get the chance to enjoy this game for many years to come. But yeah, in a nutshell, and if they don't include an offline mode, the day Asphalt Legends Unite close down, which hopefully will be in many years from now, we won't be able to play with our accounts ever again. Our progress will be lost forever and with no chance to get it back, and because of the legal contracts we accepted the day we started playing this game, we wouldn't be able to do anything regarding such a situation. On a side note though, how likely is Asphalt Legends Unite to close in the future? Well, at this point of the video I think it's nice to prepare several scenarios just so we can have an idea. You see, Asphalt Legends Unite is, as for now, the leading racing game on mobile devices. There is just not a game as good as this one, and it has been like this for years. Sure, you might prefer Asphalt 8, which is still up, but that game belongs to Gameloft as well, so we can safely say that the market leading game on this sector has been quite literally the same for a few years. Being the absolute first and with no serious competition on site eventually led to the introduction of a few features that have been questionable, to say the least. I mean, I made a comparison between Asphalt in China and Asphalt Legends Unite, and on the exact same years more or less, the Chinese version of Asphalt 9 introduced easily thrice as many quality of life changes, as well as new game modes and all kinds of stuff that made the game easily better. Meanwhile, if you have been playing Asphalt 9 or Asphalt Legends Unite for a while, you can certainly say that the game has been literally the same for years, with really small changes taking place. We got a new game mode, which is the Team Pursuit, 2 months ago, the Clash as well, but there is Clash as well on the Chinese version, and the Team Pursuit can't be compared to the Gauntlet mode or the different ways to progress faster that the Chinese players have access to, while we, the global version players, get stuff like season tokens, which were removed shortly after, for example, overclock as well, and the evolution to Asphalt Legends Unite, which absolutely ruined the excellent graphics Asphalt 9 Legends used to have on many devices. Do you see the difference? While Asphalt 9 Legends could have been a far better game with way more ambitious features, the developers choose to not do, and in a way I have to blame the fact that Asphalt 9 Legends has been one of the most solid racing games ever for this whole situation. But you see, I think there is still hope for a change that might be as a wake-up call for Gameloft to improve the game from its current stagnant status and add features that truly engage players to come and keep playing this game for many years to come. And this is Racing Master, another racing game which has been in development for years, and it has been an absolute phenomenon after it was launched in China and Taiwan, and the Racing Master developers announced that a global release will be on the way soon. If this is the case and there is a similar success as it had in China and Taiwan, Racing Master could truly represent a struggle for Asphalt Unite leading position on the racing game niche, and I hope Gameloft will have no option but to improve the game in order to make it more engaging, or we know what could happen next. In the case a global Racing Master release takes place, obviously Asphalt Unite numbers will be affected, because after all the monetization approach, graphics and progression system in Racing Master is slightly better than the one we have in Asphalt Legends Unite these days, so it can be seen from pure logic that some players will automatically give Racing Master a try. Even I would. So ironically, all my hopes of Asphalt Legends Unite improving for all the players who still play it are placed directly on the wake-up call that will represent a new game that is yet to be globally released as its Racing Master. Because as ironic as it might sound, that's literally our only hope, because I no longer have hopes that the current developers will hit the table and bring something meaningful by their own. But hey, it's not their fault completely, maybe they are encouraged to do so by the executives, maybe not. At this point I don't even know anymore. But I know something, that now it's your turn to let me know your thoughts about this whole situation in the comment section as usual, because do you think that if Asphalt Legends Unite keeps the current pace it will stand no chance against other releases? What are your thoughts about the fact that nothing you obtain on the game is yours regardless of the time and money you invested? Let me know, and also make sure to drop your like, subscribe in order to not miss absolutely anything, and I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt content. Goodbye guys.